Hi class. In this video, I'm going to show you how to run a dependent samples t-test in SPSS, also known as a paired samples t-test. So I'm just going to work through the example that's in the notes. So a major oil company wants to improve its image after a large oil spill. So its marketing department develops a short television commercial and tests it on a sample of 7 subjects. People's attitudes about the company are measured with a short questionnaire both before and after viewing the commercial, where higher values indicate better perceptions of the company. So the data collected are followed. These data indicate that the commercial would improve the company's image using alpha of 0.10. So here are our data here. Person A had an opinion of the company, a score of 15 out of 20. Then after watching the commercial, perceptions were still the same. Person D here had perceived the company with a score of 14. After viewing the commercial, their perceptions increased by 2. So to run this analysis in SPSS, we open SPSS, we go to the variable view tab, and we create 2 variables. So we're going to create a variable that's going to represent their scores before they watch the commercial, and then a variable that represents their scores after they watch the commercial. And you can name these variables anything you want. It could be pre-commercial, post-commercial, just whatever name you choose. And then we enter each individual score both before. So person 1 had a perception of 15 before and 15 again after. Person B, perception was 11 before they watched it, 13 after. Person C rated the company a 10 and then rated them an 18 after watching the commercial. And we enter these data in as such. Until we get to the end. Person 7 had an 11, rated them 11 and a 19 after watching the commercial. So to run the analysis, we click on Analyze, Compare Means, and this is a paired samples t-test. SPSS calls this a paired samples t-test. And now we tell SPSS, well, what are our pairs? Our pairs are the before and the after variable. If you named them pre and post, it would say pre and then post here. You can use the options to change your confidence interval if you want. We're gonna actually change our confidence interval here to the 90% confidence interval, since the problem asks to choose an alpha of 0.10. That would correspond to the 90% confidence interval. Then we click OK, and our output pops up. We get some descriptive statistics here. So the average perceptions before they watched the commercial, the average perception of the company was around 11.7. And then after watching the commercial, their average perceptions was around 14.7. You see 7 people both times. We get a standard deviation. We get the correlation between the pairs. And then we also get our paired samples t-test here. The mean difference from before and after was 3. So their perceptions increased 3 points with a standard deviation of 3.5. And here's our t-test results. So we get a t of negative 2.68 with 6 degrees of freedom and a p-value of 0.065. Since our p-value here is less than our alpha level of 0.1, we would reject the null hypothesis that people's perceptions were the same after watching the commercial, and we would conclude that the commercial helped improve people's images. Notice we would have used an alpha of 0.05 then we would have come to a different conclusion. With an alpha of 0.05, the p-value is greater than our alpha level, so we would not reject the null hypothesis, and we would conclude that perceptions were essentially unchanged from before and after the commercial. So that's basically how you run a dependent sample or paired sample t-test in SPSS. You would click on Analyze, Compare Means, Paired Samples Test, bring over your paired variables. And it really doesn't matter which order you bring them over either. Notice you get the same results here, except for the second pair, it's just the sign is changed. So if you have any questions, same thing here, your confidence interval, notice it's just the sign is flipped. So it's whether you want them as positive or negative and how you enter your data. So if you have any questions, as always, shoot me an email, let me know, or post something to the message board. Thank you.